Hello, my name is Sarah Ward, formerly Sarah Willis. I wanted to share with you all my San Pedro, or another name for it is Huachuma, ceremony with you all that took place on June 23rd, 2022. I've been trying to film this forever. So I'm just going to go over my intentions with the medicine, as well as the effects and what I experienced during the ceremony. But before I do, I'm going to read the invocation blessing. This is what I say every time before I commune with the sacred plant spirit medicine. So if you want to follow along with me or read aloud with me, that'd be great. I'm going to put it in the description box below. Heavenly Alpha and Divine Omega, behold, great mystery, Spirit that moves through all, deliverer of all bondage. We call upon your spirit in the four directions of the sacred wheel. To everything there's a season and a time and a purpose under heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to reap. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. A time to refrain, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to get and a time to lose. A time to keep and a time to cast away. A time to rend and a time to sow. A time to stay silent or keep silent, and a time to speak. It's a time of love and a time for hate. A time for war and a time for peace. We turn to the keepers of the East, the direction of new beginnings, of inspiration, of illumination, direction of creativity, of the dawn and the spring, new births and childhood. Be with us. Teach us. Show us your ways. We call to the keepers of the South, direction of vitality, of high noon, of summer, of hot sun and vigorous growth, of youth and passion. Be with us. Teach us. Show us your ways. We invite the keepers of the West, direction of introspection, of the evening, of autumn and maturity, deepening and ripening. Be with us. Teach us. Show us your ways. We respectfully summon the keepers of the North, direction of the night, of winter, of wisdom and transformation, of dropping in essentials to reveal the core. Be with us. Teach us. Show us your ways. We claim this work to serve, to bless, and to share knowledge for wisdom building and for bringing wholeness to our hearts and to our world. Thank you. Thank you for being with me, everybody. Before I begin, I just want to share with you the methodology I used in preparing San Pedro. Was from this book, The Plant Remedy by Travis Bodick. I think it's so funny that I know this guy, but I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Travis Bodick. It's a great book, and I used this book to prepare San Pedro. And San Pedro is one of the medicines I believe that anybody can do it without a shaman. And how I found this San Pedro was just Googling, and I found a supplier, and I'm actually friends with him now. and it's pretty cool. But if you can't Google and find it, you can also go to like a Home Depot or a Lowe's. Sometimes they have San Pedro selling there. But anyway, I had two main intentions for this medicine ceremony. One main one is my mother had just passed away 2 days before communing with this medicine, so it was really about saying goodbye to my mom and having a space of healing to grieve and to mourn. And during the ceremony, I felt God really telling me to my heart that it's really important when we lose people in our lives, just take a step back from our life, from our routines, and just grieve and allow us to mourn and grieve and say our goodbyes. So that was one of my main intentions of this medicine ceremony. And the other one was for the past few years, I've been struggling with remorse, not shame, because shame gets you, keeps you stuck or trapped in the abuse or the watigo or whatever you want to say. But remorse is teachable. So I was feeling a lot of remorse over the years, and I just kind of admitted to myself that I learned the lesson. I no longer have love, anxious attachment style. That's what I was trying to get over, is my behaviors and what I did when I had love, anxious attachment style. It's basically what I call the love addict. The things I did when I had love addiction. And I was really remorseful about that. I would cry a lot about what I did, and I was kind of sick of crying, and I wanted to see if this medicine, if I could do a ceremony and if it could help with that, because I no longer had that attachment style. I have now a secure attachment style, so it didn't really make any sense to me why I was still grieving it. I wanted to get over it and move past it. And the medicine did. I don't think about it at all anymore. It really helped me. This medicine really helped me move past that. So hallelujah. This medicine's really good for many things, but one thing it's really, really good at is helping us move on and move past something. All right, now here's some fun stuff. So I'm just going to go over what happened during my ceremony, just the fun things that had happened, or interesting things that had happened. So, sorry, my feet are being painful. Okay. All right, so back in the day, I used to research a lot. I used to be obsessed with plant spirit medicines. I still am interested in them, but I'm no longer obsessed or always reading about it. But that morning before ceremony, I was waiting for my daughter to go to work. And I thought it'd be fun to just to Google something about San Pedro as I was waiting for her to leave. And I read that some people see colors they've never seen before on this medicine. And that's what I think is so interesting about these medicines, is that there's so much to learn and understand, and it's so interesting. And I'd never had that experience. But during the very beginning of the ceremony, after I drank the medicine, I was guided to go outside and smudge myself and read a Bible verse that had been speaking to me for a long time. And the Bible verse communicated to me that I am forgiven for my love addiction, or my love anxious attachment style. But while I was smudging myself, the colors of the smudge smoke was colors I'd never seen before. It was really cool. It was like different purples that I've never seen coming out of the smoke. And I was like, whoa, it's just like what I read. There was like turquoise blue smoke and purple smoke. It's like the smoke took on this different array of colors, and it was really cool. And while I was sitting outside on my balcony, on my porch swing, I put on here like San Pedro glasses. It's almost like I put on San Pedro glasses. And I was just looking at the forest in front of me, and I didn't really see anything, but I could just tell that the San Pedro was taking effect. When I'm on San Pedro, it's not that I really see anything. It's just that everything becomes beautiful and almost sparkly. Not that I see sparkles, but everything looks truly magical. I can't really explain it. But I remember sitting out there and looking at the forest, and the forest just looked So beautiful. Like forests usually look beautiful to me, but it just looked beyond beautiful. It just looked so majestic, so beautiful. And I was just staring at the forest for a long time. It was so beautiful. It was so cool. And then I was guided to go back in and really get into the nitty gritty of my ceremony. And I made a little makeshift teepee, a little fort. If you want to check it out, I'm going to put some pictures after I post this video on my community page of my fort that I made. And, you know, the sacraments of the ceremony. And so I went in there to go into my little teepee. And it's funny, my cat, Mabel, she like hopped in it immediately after I constructed it, and she stayed there for the whole week in this little makeshift teepee. But anyway, while I was on my hands and knees crawling in to get into my little ceremony teepee space, I was just overcome by this such an intense feeling of excitement. And it was almost like I was getting into a hot air balloon or something like that. That's the way I was feeling. Like in reality, I was on my hands and knees crawling onto the floor underneath a sheet that I made with some chairs. But my internal emotions was like, oh, this is so cool. So it's so funny that, you know, if you're struggling, if you have a low vibration, if you're really depressed, San Pedro can really help up your frequency. I thought that was so cool. I just felt so excited. And underneath the little makeshift teepee I really just let it all out. I felt God telling me, let it all out, cry, you know, grieve your mom. And I cried about my mom for a few hours. It was really intense, but I just let it all out. I cried and I said goodbye to her. And while I was in there, I don't know if you know this, but like your eyes are attached to your brain. And I almost felt like I was seeing my rewiring of my neural pathways being rewired. I can't really explain it, but that's really interesting. I saw all these visuals. It was really relaxing. So after I was in the teepee for a while, I went to walk down to this little nature spot in my apartment complex. I have a connective tissue disorder called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And while I was walking to the bench, I felt like I was Gumby. It really helped me have patience for myself, because it is hard for me to walk even short distances, and it was extremely hard for me to walk to this bench. And it was so funny, I was Gumby. Like, I felt my disability, I felt my connective tissue disability in that moment walking to the bench. And from that moment, it's really helped me be patient with myself and really celebrate the small victories in my life. So that was pretty cool. And then I sat on the bench. And again, it was like this feeling, I was overcome with emotion and excitement and just awe, like, oh my gosh. And I was just sitting on a bench, okay, people? I'm just sitting on a bench. It's nothing big deal, right? No big deal. But internally, I was so excited. I can't explain it, but it felt like I was on an amusement park ride or something. It was really weird. It was really funny. It really lightened my spirits totally. San Pedro really helps you instill that wonder that children have, It really gets you in touch with your inner child, and that was really cool. And this was 2 days after the summer solstice. So summer was at the very beginning of summer. This ceremony took place, because like I said, it was June 23rd. And I noticed all these worms roll over the ground, and they were all over the ground. I've never seen anything like that, or never noticed that before, but everything, even the ground, was like thrumming and teeming with life. It was really cool. All the life everywhere, just how much vitality there is in nature. And that's it. That's my ceremony. I've been wanting to share this with you all for over a year now, but my camera broke, and then I got married, and then I moved, and I just haven't had time. But yeah, like I said, it really helped me get over my remorse from my love, anxious attachment style. Because like I said, I no longer think about it at all, what I've done in the past. It doesn't even come to mind anymore. Whereas before, I would really cry about it for a long time, for months at a time. For a couple of years, I was really upset by it. But now I set an intention to get over it, and the medicine helped me get over it, move past it. Yay. Yeah, I think that's everything. If I forget anything, I'll put it down in the comments. If you have any questions, let me know down below in the comments. If you want to send me an email, my email will be down below. I think that's everything. I feel like I'm missing something. Like I said, if I remember, I'll put it down. I pray you all are doing well. I'm going to be communing with the medicine again next year, so I'll definitely, every year I try to commune with the medicine at least once. Not this year, because like I said, I got married and I moved, so I was really busy this year. But next year I'm going to commune with the medicine, and I'll let you know what happens then. Bye. I love you all. Thanks for watching my videos. Take care. I'll talk to you later.